Hi, this is Prachi Joshi, and welcome to PMP Prep Course. Let's dive right into it.
So far, we have done what is project charter, project management plan, scope management plan, time management plan, and we are moving on to cost management. So this is a short section where we will be learning what is cost management. Now you might already know what is cost management plan. We will go through how to estimate costs, determine the budget, and how to control the budget cost. So let's dive right into it. WBS and WBS Dictionary. In the previous video, you might already have seen WBS and WBS Dictionary. What it means, WBS is nothing but the work breakdown structure, where you would break down the project into smaller tasks, which can be doable in a very short span, like 3 to 5 days. So we break down the tasks, the project into tasks, and WBS is nothing but we import the tasks and create the WBS, where we have pointers, the activity IDs, description, who will do the resources, and everything, all the details you need to know. So things which we need to consider while creating the cost baselines are resource availability, which resources are available, and when and how much it will cost. That we will get it from the WBS dictionary. We will also need to consider the timing of the procurement of the resources. For example, if it's a fixed stated cost, you can't keep the rented things for a long, for no reason. It will increase the cost. It is also known as just in time. Note this term down. This is a new term. This might come in your exam directly or indirectly. So understand the term just in time. It means you cannot keep the resources for a very long time. For example, we want to rent 100 chairs for an event. We cannot store it forever from when the project starts till it ends. What we can do instead is we can rent those 100 chairs when it is needed, right? So that is something just in time. Rented by just in time when it is needed, not throughout the project. It increases the cost. A new term for you all is life cycle costing. That is also something you need to consider while estimating the cost. So what is life cycle costing? It is nothing but how much it'll cost to maintain a thing. What's the total cost of the ownership from starting to execution, maintaining it, till the project is ended and died. So there is a bell curve. There's a huge demand. You have to maintain it. The project ends, and then it has a plateau, and then it starts declining. So after the death of the project or the product, so from scratch to the end, till it is out of the market, what's the total life cycle cost, the total cost of the product or service? So those are the things which you need to consider while estimating the cost. Here are some resource requirements cost. There are different types of costs. Those are direct cost, indirect costs, variable cost, and fixed cost. So let's learn about all these costs in detail and what are they. So you also need to consider these costs, right, while estimating the project. Direct cost. Direct cost is directly to the project and not shared with other projects. For example, you have 5 team members in your project, and you have to pay those 5 resources, right? Those 5 team members. So that is a direct cost to the project. They are just working for your project and not other projects. So that is a direct cost. Indirect cost. It is shared between one or more projects. For example, the facilities, software licenses. Those are kind of an indirect cost, which are shared with other projects. Another one is variable cost. Variable cost, as the name suggests, when the cost varies based on condition of the project. So to give you an example here, variable cost is if you have a training going on in your organization for your project, and you need to get the printouts of the handbook for the trainees. So that is something a variable cost. It depends on how many people are going to attend your training. So that is something variable cost. And lastly, a fixed cost. Fixed cost is a constant throughout. Fixed cost is constant throughout the project. For example, rented equipments, fixed price consultants. Those are something which are fixed cost, right? You know the price, you pay it upfront, and that's the cost. So these are the cost, resources, requirements which we need to also consider for estimating the costs. Now, creating the cost estimates. Um, so you can create cost estimates by three ways. You can give a rough order of magnitude, that is a rough estimate. For example, uh, an expert might come and say the project will cost between this to this a month, X to Z a month. So that is rough order of magnitude. They're not going in detail, going into each task and estimating the cost, but they are just giving a rough order of magnitude. It could be from anywhere between minus 25% to plus 75%. Budget estimates. Budget estimates are uh, a bit uh, a bit uh, realistic, as it is based on the scope or scope statement, I would say. Somewhere between minus 10% to 20 plus 25% if they are giving the budget. So that is a bit precise. The most precise is definitive estimate. It is based on the WBS, which we just saw, uh, which means for each task you allocate the estimate based on how much resources, how many resources, how much time the resources would be needed. So based on that, we create the estimate. That is the most effective and realistic estimate. It takes the longest amount of time, but it is the most definite estimate, and that's the name suggests, definite estimate. It is somewhere between minus 5 to plus 10%. So these are the three estimates. Now coming on to budget estimating. As I said, from all of these, what we study, we will get a cost estimate, right? If you add contingency reserves to it, it becomes the project budget. If you add the management reserves to it, it becomes the total budget. So we will be learning about contingency reserve and management reserve more in detail. But just for now, contingency reserve is nothing but quantitative analysis, risk analysis. When you multiply probability into impact, and you total for each task. The total amount you get is something what we add into the contingency reserve. And management reserve is something which is reserved for unknown risks, or if the scope changes from the management, some additional requirements are added. So these costs, we take it from the management reserves. All right, so I hope this is very, very clear to you. And I hope you guys are studying well. If you have any doubts, please comment me below, and I'll make sure to answer you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.